Hey everybody, I'm the Pigglesworth, and this is something very different. This is something I've always wanted to do with my different series. I love watching commentary on DVDs, Blu-rays nowadays, but all my favorite movies, whenever there's commentary, director's commentary and stuff, I love watching that. So I figured it would be fun to try this out for Alphacraft series and see if people enjoyed it. Maybe do more of them in the future. So I had been invited to Alphacraft. I knew a YouTuber named Nobodies. I knew him from Decidedly Vanilla, and he had joined a server called Alphacraft. And him and I got to talking one evening about a tree farm design that I had. He was telling me he had built it on this server. And he's like, "Hey, are you on a server?" I'm like, "No, I don't think I've been on a server for maybe 6 or 7 months. I'd have to go back and look, but it's been a while." Yeah, that was cool. I loaded up this world, and this is just what was in this world. I used my name as the seed for it. It's just so crazy how it worked out this way. But I got invited to the server, which was really cool. I was going to get a chance to play along with other people instead of just by myself. Now, the server had already started, so I was kind of behind a little bit. So I came up with this little storyline of why I would be here without telling people what was going on, which is something I'm known for doing. I really loved the editing in this. So you can see my character turns to the right and turns to the left. And what I did was, if you go back and watch the original clip at this point and close your eyes, you'll notice as my character looks left and right that this weird noise that's in the distance, you actually hear it in your left ear and then your right, like you're directionally hearing the sound strongest ahead of you. And so that's what kind of prompts me to build this boat and want to go across the ocean. Now, what I had done is I went into this world across the ocean and I had built a little set in creative mode, because this wasn't the actual server. This was my own little seed that I loaded up. So for the cinematic and for telling the story, I went ahead and just built this area up here in creative. It was a lot of fun to make this. I had to come up with this little storyline idea of why I would end up in Alphacraft. And then just, I've always loved the whole process of making movies and editing video. Yeah, I'd kind of messed up. I left that boat behind from a previous thing, and I was strapped for time. So when I was filming it, I saw this boat sitting there, and I'm like, "Uh-oh, that's a mistake. Play it off, play it off." So I just acted like somebody else maybe had been in this world, and it was, mysterious. This was kind of crazy to film. I had to film this where these pigs were standing around. It took me like 10 minutes to wait for a pig to walk on the slime. And then I had to wait for the pigs to wander off. And then, or what I did was when I saw a flash of lightning, I took my hand off my mouse so that my character stood perfectly still. And a few minutes later, both of those pigs wandered off screen, so you can see them back there now. And so I had to do a quick video edit. So when you see that flash of light, there's actually like a minute or two cut out. So it looks like just a second and the pigs disappear. And that was pure luck, that lightning strike close to me. I wanted a lightning strike to happen when I started this scene, and it just kind of worked out. So the whole idea was that there was this portal that was kind of formed in this new world of mine. I was going to start a new series, and I stumble across this portal. And this portal sucks me in and sends me to another dimension, which is Alphacraft. And I use slime because Alphacraft had used slime from Season 1 to Season 2 as the reason why the server had to reset. Something crazy happened. Now, this was really fun to film. I used replay mod for a lot of this. And there's a cool little trick that I did. I may try to throw a clip here at the end just showing basically how I filmed this. But basically, I did replay mod for this, and I walked my character backwards. And then I had to do a green screen trick right here where my character's up on that and then flies off into that. Like, that's 2 or 3 different things filmed together to make it happen. Matter of fact, this is going to fade out. I'm going to go ahead and add in some footage so you can see what exactly that looked like. So the first thing I did is I went into a creative world and I put a piece of just glass pane down, and then I put some trapdoors, like one trapdoor floating above it. Because the cool thing about a trapdoor is that it'll make your character lay down. And that's important because I needed to be able to manipulate my character. So I did this trick where it makes my character lay down just like that. Now the next thing I did is I rendered this out with a green screened background. You can see this kind of looping over and over again. I got a certain camera angle where I can see green between my character and the trapdoor, and that's going to be important because later, you can see this next clip, what I did was I took some green I took a sample of the green that was in the video, and I created just a green image in a program called GIMP. It's a free open source program, kind of like Photoshop. And I brought that image into my video editor and I overlaid it on the objects I needed to erase. Then we can see this next pass. So I go ahead and I use a keying program inside my video editor, and basically I tell it anything you see that's green, make it transparent. You can see through it. So now this stuff disappears. And so now I can put a background to this. So the next thing you can see is I did a camera move where I move the camera away from my character. So my character, it looks like I'm flying away from my character. But then what we do is we green screen it out, we key it out, and then we superimpose that onto a stationary background image, me holding onto a post in front of a portal. Now what happens is your eyes get tricked. You see the environment sitting perfectly still, and you see my character flying away and getting smaller. So what happened is I filmed it with the camera flying away from my character, but when we do all these cool special effects tricks, it actually looks like the character flies away from us and into the portal.